So what if I told you North America's largest native fruit is a total nutritional powerhouse that tastes like a tropical paradise, but you can't find it anywhere? I mean, it's completely vanished from our grocery stores. This is the story of the pawpaw.
To really get the pawpaw, we have to start right here. Back in 1849, when Harriet Tubman escaped slavery, she had to survive on whatever the forest offered. And for weeks, that offering was the pawpaw. This wasn't just some fruit. It was survival itself, woven right into the fabric of American freedom.
So what does this life-saving fruit actually taste like? Okay, imagine a mix of mango, banana, and maybe a little pineapple, but with this incredibly creamy custard-like texture that just melts in your mouth. It sounds amazing, doesn't it? Which brings us to the central mystery here. If it's native to 26 states, if it's got this incredible history and it tastes that good, why is it a complete ghost in our modern food system? Why isn't it sitting right there next to the apples and bananas? Well, that's the big question we're going to answer.
To find the answer, we've got to understand just how deep the pawpaw's roots go in American soil. Because this isn't some new exotic fruit that just showed up. It's been here the whole time. And listen, we're talking about an incredible scale of time here. This fruit has an 8,000-year history on this continent. It was cultivated by indigenous communities. It literally saved explorers like Lewis and Clark when their supplies ran out. And during the Great Depression, it was a lifeline for families. They called it the poor man's banana.
And its reach was just universal. I mean, everybody ate it. The Shawnee Nation dedicated an entire month to its harvest. George Washington loved it as a chilled dessert. Thomas Jefferson grew it himself at Monticello. It fed soldiers on both sides of the Civil War and, as we know, people seeking freedom on the Underground Railroad. This truly was the American fruit.
Okay, so we have this amazing history and a taste that sounds like a vacation. But what about its nutrition? Well, let's get into the hard data, because this is where the story gets truly unbelievable.
We're going to put the pawpaw, a fruit that can grow right in your backyard, head to head with the common fruits we buy every day, the ones that often travel thousands of miles just to get to us.
First up, vitamin C. Just look at this. Per serving, the pawpaw has 3 times more vitamin C than an apple and twice as much as a banana. That is a massive, massive difference. Okay, next up, calcium. This one is even more dramatic. The pawpaw has about 10 times more calcium than either an apple or a banana. It's not even a close competition. It's not even in the same league. And finally, let's talk about iron. This is just staggering. The pawpaw has anywhere from 20 to 70 times more iron than the fruits we buy every single day. The takeaway here is crystal clear. On a nutritional level, this thing is a true superfruit that just leaves the competition in the dust. And as if all that weren't enough, pawpaws have these unique compounds called acetogenins. Now, in lab studies, they've actually shown anti-cancer promise. And for the tree itself, these compounds act as a built-in pesticide, which means pawpaws can thrive and give us fruit without any human-applied chemicals. Pretty amazing. So we have a delicious, historically significant, nutritional powerhouse that grows without pesticides. The question becomes more and more urgent. What on earth happened to it? Well, the answer lies in a technology you probably use every single day. So let's just ask it one more time before the big reveal. How did America forget its greatest native fruit? This right here is the culprit. In 1938, the invention of a portable cooling unit for trucks started a revolution. And within just 2 decades, a massive refrigerated infrastructure, what we call the cold chain, was built to move food all across the country, and eventually the world. But this new system, it had one critical requirement: shelf life. Apples, they can last for weeks. Bananas, maybe a week or two. A ripe pawpaw, you've got maybe 48 hours, tops. It bruises super easily and ferments quickly. It just was not built for a long-haul journey in the back of a truck. And that's the answer. The pawpaw wasn't killed by some big conspiracy or because our tastes changed. It was killed by logistics. The new industrial food system didn't select for the best-tasting fruit or the most nutritious fruit. It selected for the fruit that could survive a 2,000-mile trip in a cold truck. The pawpaw couldn't, so it just got left behind. But you know what? The story doesn't end there. After being pretty much forgotten for over 70 years, the pawpaw is starting to make this quiet comeback. not in big supermarkets, but in a way that's much more connected to its roots.
So why should we care about its return? Because the pawpaw represents everything our modern food system often isn't. It's truly local, it's pesticide-free, and it's a key part of its native ecosystem. It's actually the only host plant for the beautiful zebra swallowtail butterfly.
And make no mistake, this is a growing movement. Over 10,000 people showed up for the Ohio Pawpaw Festival. There is a real, genuine hunger to rediscover this fruit. People are starting to remember what we lost.
And the best part is, you can be part of this revival. You can find pawpaws at local farmers markets in the fall, you can visit a festival, or hey, you can even plant your own trees. They'll start bearing fruit in about 6 to 8 years, and they could feed you for the next 50.
And that really brings us to the final takeaway, doesn't it? We live in a world where our food often travels way farther than we do. But the pawpaw is this powerful reminder that sometimes the most amazing things, the most nutritious, the most historic, and the most delicious have been waiting right here, in our own backyards the whole time.